going to be removed here by FURIA. Team One just take a little bit more time to come to the inevitable conclusion that is a Thatcher ban.
Yeah, no surprise with the bans. Same bans that we already seen earlier on tonight, Ollie. Whenever we seen Inscop against MIBR. So a bit of a running theme. Coastline, great map for both teams. Very, very excited to see this one fly on through. A good comparison that we can make between both of them on this map, Ollie, is both of them played BDS at the Major on this map. Team 1 beat BDS 7-5. FURIA lost 8-7. Does that tell us anything? Surely, if Team 1 beat BDS on Coastline and BDS beat FURIA, does that mean Team 1's going to win?
If only it was so simple.
Oh, my mistake. I thought it was that simple.
If only. It does leave a couple of other things open and free.
Okay, here we go. Jumping in straight away to look where it is, Ollie. Gonna call this one.
It's the most popular site in Brazil.
Yep, don't know what it is. We need to see how other regions need to adapt to this as well. We definitely need to see. It just seems as if LATAM, they just love this. They love this bomb site. And the success rate doesn't back it up to be a worthy pick. That's the thing about it. It doesn't get backed up.
We need to go through and cherry pick every Coastline game that's been played across every region and find out how many times this site is, and get the stats and get the numbers, because it's almost comical at this point for FURIA to bring it out. And I mean, even Bodega said in the interview when we were chatting to him after MIBR's success earlier on, we were saying, you know, why do you like Penals and Theatre so much? He's like, well, in scrims, you know, and in our boot camp, that was the best map for us. That was the best site for us. You know, we were really good at that site. But on the server this weekend, it really hasn't been the case for any of the teams. Maybe FURIA are going to show us something a little bit different here, as they have opted to go upstairs into Penthouse and Theatre for their first round.
Okay. See how FURIA want to try and deal with Team 1 and a very aggressive lineup, Ollie. I mean, not a single hard breach in sight, but a lot of operators who are very, very good at killing others. Alamau straight in, taking no time at all to move in towards Sunrise and establish a position below. I'd imagine nades from below is going to be a go-to for Team 1. Looking at their lineup, I mean, they have 6 nades, Ollie. That's a... You didn't know, Ollie, that's a lot.
It's a lot of damage. A lot of damage that can be caused by those 6 nades. Neskin, he has a ping as well to assist him. And he maybe could go for a little bit of aggression there. Just waiting for Levy to push on through as a drone is working on ahead. Lender is increasingly being pinched. He does have a little bit of assistance not too far away. Team 1 are spending all the time that they can to try and gather this information. Vertical angles being held from above. Lagonis could lose the Flores drone there on that vertical angle, but will manage to sneak it past. That will now be able to move through and act onto its intended purpose, which it sounded like was chunking Miracle down, because he is the next player to fall. Alamau going to back it up with a kill, as well as Lender eventually takes him on down. Advantage then early for Team 1. But still, they need that positional advantage. They need to be able to get themselves in here.
He still has that deployable shield that you can try and play with. The 190 is going to go as well, but KDS has a nade. And will it connect? Nope, it will miss, unfortunately, for KDS. That shield's still going to be up, and that will cause so many issues, because KDS knows he cannot move in until this shield is gone. He will go for the Gon 6, and that will eliminate the shield. Hayes gets pressured, but he meets Levy head on and wins that engagement, reloads the MP5 SD. Fantasy swings in, eliminates Neskin, and Fantasy with another KDS in the clutch position, but he has no time to do it, and Hayes will get the final kill. FURIA, 1-0. There you go, the first round on the bomb site that usually has not been working.
As we're seeing, you know, a little bit of explosion there inside of round number 1. Fancy coming in with a couple of kills, highs as well. Big contributions already. Team One just not finding that success. Now FURIA can switch things up. They can get themselves over into hookah and billiards. And for all that we've spoken about that site not working demo, I actually like the fact that Penthouse and Theatre has worked out there for FURIA, because there's a chance that we're not going to see such a heavily attacker-sided coastline.
Yeah, I mean, coastline is definitely like the kind of bomb site that breaks really what everything Siege stands for, and that is, you know, defense have the easier time, attacks are supposed to be the most challenging thing, whereas in reality, coastline on attacks, Ollie, pretty simple, isn't it? It's a lot of sitting, holding an angle, tossing a couple of nades, and making people move. That's what it's all about. Coastline is a very claustrophobic map for defenders. There isn't a lot of safe positions that you can really find your way into. That isn't gonna be susceptible to a nade or somebody going below and opening up below you. There are a lot of things in coastline that just, it means that you're never going to be able to sit nice and easy. There's like a few areas, but that's it.
Yeah, the pockets of safety are certainly few, and that's always a good thing for the attackers. They can get in there, but it makes those powerful positions even more powerful, and if you don't root those players out, if you're not able to get in, then you can really come up short. I'm not sure how those 2 opening kills have gone kind of so quickly in favor there of Team One, but Miracle as well is going to be the next to fall. This could be a flawless round. Look at Alamau go, picks himself up 4, just walks on through on the Nook. 1 magazine is all that is required. Hits himself with the nice shot. Ouch, walking up main stairs, like 3 kills. He wasn't even I mean, yeah.
How do you think STK got so good?
I mean, STK is just, I mean, Alamau's watched STK play. That's obviously what's happened. Alamau watched the FaZe and Santos game yesterday, figured it out, and was like, look, that's what
Come on now, Alamau's been crouch walking up the stairs since the beginning of the year, Ollie. Come on now, we know what he's like, we know what he can do. Look at yesterday's game, Ollie. First round, the guy was in the bomb site by, what, 2 minutes 20? Like, this is what he's like.
Yeah, certainly the Alamau effect, and a quick round like that does a lot to shift the momentum, and FURIA are almost left reeling after that one, thinking, what the heck has just happened? We can't let that happen again. And it's likely not going to. Alamau this time is going to be playing onto the book, and we're probably going to see a much more considered approach here from Team One, other than just walk in, get kills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Alamau, fair. The guy does have a lot of pressure. I mean, people have, like, said he's supposed to be the successor to Penguin. Like, what a title to take on. You're supposed to be the successor of the greatest player ever touched this game. Like, you know he's good if he's getting that kind of praise. I know he is good friends with Penguin. You know, I do know there is a close little bond there. So, we'll see if he can continue on. And oh, Levy. He's not working today, apparently. That's his day off. He's letting pass.
I think KDS has saved him, finding him out on the drone, so at least they know roughly where the player is, but it was a little bit of a leaky flank watch there from Levy. Now, there's always the case of if you're not going to hit the shot, then don't give yourself away, but you'd have thought that he'd have had a pop at that one just to at least put a few points of damage in. As it stands, everybody is still alive and well, as Lender just gets drawn there on 90 and will start to challenge on in through VIP, but a bit of a crossfire is being developed here. Fantasy, he's going to hit first blood as he takes down Neskin. Lagonis worried now about being peeked outside, and he will be peeked as Fantasy hits him there with the nice little 1D. Another kill coming in onto Alamau, and for all the pressure and all the excitement of round number 2, this round has fallen very flat, and FURIA have been prepared at every turn for what Team One have brought to the table.
Yeah, FURIA looking incredible in this round. Set ready for everything that Team One have tried to throw at them. Levy, let's get an exit kill. A minute to find 4 more of them, and oh, Fantasy gets himself away too easily. Just peeks back and forth with the pistol. Still hunting for that kill. Eventually will back off, and Levy still knows that he's close to him, and this is going to be a bit of a battle, and Levy will win that one again. 3 more to find. 40 seconds. Is it possible? Still in the realms of unlikely, and Highs make sure it's impossible with that long angle. A great shot from the Wamai. FURIA, 2-1.
To distract me, I'd be saying, what are you Z pinging for? Just call it out. But not a lot of pixels change color there for that final kill to come through. Something that happened just before we got into the replay was the 6 pick. Is this theme going to continue, Demo? Alamau, he's gone Buck, he's gone Nook. He's gone Buck, he's gone Nook. And he's back onto Nook.
There's a lot of Bucks and Nook you're saying there. And to answer the question, yes, it seems to be a bit of a trend for him. Maybe it's a case of if they lose a round, they need to try and play like really sneaky. Maybe they're just looking to try and get anything they can. I mean, at this stage, Alamau, I think he knows he can make something happen. He is a big playmaker. You know, we see plenty of times where he just appears out of nowhere, lands triple kills for fun. That's the kind of player we're dealing with. One player who really stole the show for me at Mexico was KDS. I thought he had a phenomenal time at that event. And definitely another player who can hold his own, if not equal, to Alamau. You know, Alamau, sure, maybe there is the quote-unquote star player. But, I mean, Alamau wasn't even MVP of too many of their games at Mexico.
No, he wasn't.
A lot of his teammates was actually the MVP more than him.
The talent on the roster runs very deep indeed, and it is by no means limited to Alamau and Alamau alone. I think he's maybe one of the more vocal and public characters on the roster, but
it's like Team One have had that. It's the same storyline that I know that we used to have a BDS. Whereas like one guy, it's only Shaiko, it's just one guy, story, but in reality, look at that BDS side, like, my god.
Now, I think there's certainly comparisons to be drawn there, especially when you look at the contribution that players like Levy and KDS have. But inside of this round, at least, it's going to be Alamau leading the charge, getting that early pick off onto Fantasy. Those two really going toe-to-toe with each other so far this game. Fantasy died every round so far, but has managed to pick himself up 5 kills and is the only one that's even close to Alamau's current 6. And there's a chance for Alamau to make it a couple more here as he's able to activate the cloak and creep on down, head toward those cool vibe stairs.
Landa has a C4 in hand. Go for a yellow ping. I'm sure there's going to be information fed through. I'm sure probably Fantasy, being dead, will probably hop on a Valkyrie camera and try and get his team a free C4 kill. Be Sunrise control for FURIA still. But that vertical game will be opened up by Team One. That's exactly where they want to have FURIA. They want to have them panicking around the bomb site, not give them any positions where they can sit and think they're safe. Nades, of course, will also roll in. Miracle will eventually get pushed out. The Smoke is the ideal player you want to try and eliminate. He's the player that you cannot allow to have a fun time on that Sunrise bar. Because we see what Smokes can do, Ollie. One Toxic Babe can shut down that sauna immediately.
Especially with only 30 seconds left, those Toxic Babe canisters become very valuable indeed. Miracle, he's got one left in pocket, but he's not going to need it for the time being as he takes down Lagonis with the SMG. Alamau gets away with murder there on the blue window as he's able to take down Lender and push on through. It's a bit of damage there from the friendly nade. Miracle, you've got to try and hold on here, but Levy is there with the swing. A shotgun to trade, but Neskin to pick the pieces up. Team One there, able to execute and find all the kills required.
It's a great round.
In a rush round, and then all the other rounds, they've kind of fallen a little bit flat, so it was nice to see them have a really checklist approach to an attack. Worked out very well for them indeed. I think the opening was massive. Being able to remove Fantasy, remove that threat of a lurk / a roam game coming out, and really command a lot of that control nice and early on, then have the ability to pivot and make that rotation. Really worked out very well for them. FURIA back into Penthouse and Theatre. Now, they were successful here previously. It relied very heavily on Highs holding on inside of VIP, and more specifically that library corner of VIP where the bookcases are. He was very prevalent in that area. To see if he chooses to play himself there again. This time going to be rocking on the Valkyrie as opposed to the Echo, so still that information there and available. The early game already seeing a bit of pressure downstairs inside a kitchen. Rare might have been misdrawn. Nope. Tell a lie. KDS is not going to make that mistake. He knows exactly where he is, but oh, the glimpse! A very narrow chance, but a chance nonetheless.
Oh, and the wall bangs also starting to come in. Both of them deal just a little bit of damage to each other. On the flip side, though, Ollie, he won. He got another opening kill. Levy with the LMG has found Landa. Goyo gone. That's a big old C4 gone also. Still have 2 more in the back pocket, of course, but you would like to have another one. Send Team 1 packing as they try and move in towards the Penthouse's theater, but in the meantime, they're going to stay stable and hold on to that VIP. This has, of course, been this main room. This has been the talk of the town, Ollie. That VIP, it's been changed. The massive change, Ollie, was it just has 2 reinforced walls. That's it. That's the only change. Not much else to it. Maybe just a little bit of change towards the bookshelf as well, but other than that, it's just a reinforced wall, and 9 times out of 10, that is usually dealt with quite easily. Whenever you're bringing an operator like Maverick, reinforced walls with high charges on it mean absolutely nothing. Levy walks in, gives Rare a very easy kill. I don't know if that was... Maybe he knew somebody was in luggage, but was expecting to be swung from the window. I'm not sure, but either way, it's a kill for FURIA. oNe can open up this reinforced wall.
Lasergate has been burnt on the double window, so for the time being it is inactive. Means KDS can now start to throw some nades on in. And he lands one. Hits over onto Fancy. I wasn't sure if that was destined for utility or a player, but the kill feed lighting up there tells us that well, it was always intended for Fantasy, as he's going to fall, and with it, Toxic Babe canisters. That's a lot of potential to cut off this push as it comes through. Another player getting ready on that window is going to be Alamau, but he instead makes his way all the way to the top. Rare, where have you just gotten that kill from? How has that happened? Sits KDS down in the dirt, as he's going to be able to get shut down. The Aruni Gate now can be reactivated, and that's going to be another puzzle here for Team 1 to solve. A C4 in hand as Alamau thinks about hopping on through. He's at least going to be able to throw his utility. The C4 is a little bit premature though, but Miracle lands one onto Neskin. Lagonis, he's in the plant spot, but he's now on his own. The Valkyrie camera spots him out. Alamau next to fall. 8 seconds left, and a 2 versus 1 for him to try and deal with. Lagonis has to try and go for the kills here. He's ducking, he's diving, he's trying to get the peak. He picks one up onto highs, and he can now start to get this plant down. Miracle, you need to be very quick indeed. The plant location is not ideal, and it's an easy picking for Miracle to find that final kill.
Yeah, easy picking indeed. oNe did well to kill that Valkyrie, but doesn't have the time.
Yeah, nades is something that Team 1 are really leaning into here as well. You think about KDS able to take down Fantasy. It was such an important pick at the time, and I thought that it'd have a bit more of a bigger impact on the round as a whole than what it did. You would have thought that would be a big swing for Team 1, but FURIA seemingly unfazed by the loss and is still able to battle on through. But last round as the side sit, Team 1 trailing by 1. They have an opportunity here to level it up. Equally, FURIA could take this as a defender-sided coastline, which is... I'm going to call it now. I think it's going to become more of a reoccurring theme. Team 1 haven't played particularly badly here. They've just not been able to execute and win out those important engagements, and it is not a direct indication of anything wrong. I mean, that isn't great as how he goes for the nade. He's going to take a lot of damage. But he returns it, as Rare wasn't able to land his shots. Both players getting away with it there.
Yeah, very fortunate that seeing both of them still alive at that stage. Rare in the great position just to simply kill Alamau, and then Alamau having a cook nade that could have been tossed at his head at any moment. Neskin, though, will find that opening kill onto Fantasy. He goes in from delivery by himself, and it works out. He catches Fantasy by surprise, and they still know that Goyo is going to be somewhere. They're not entirely sure where, but they know it is downstairs. Matter of time, I feel, before FURIA do lose this. Goyo will be droned out, and now they know exactly where he is, in towards lobby. He'll be stationed. Could have went back upstairs, Ollie. Could have went back upstairs to the bomb site. But instead, decides to rotate in towards security. So still being a menace, still being a threat. With that C4, can stop a plant if needed.
Neskin just looking to get himself up an assist as Alamau is going to be on the upside down repel. Not as much aggression inside of this round. Previously when we saw the site, it was where Alamau just waltzed on through and picked up 4 kills. That hasn't been the case just yet. Well, Fantasy falling his first blood again is not a great trend to continue, and Rare gets caught out. Lagonis, patience paying off. A narrow head glitch being held, and not a lot that we're going to see Rare be able to do about that one. Highs, for all intents and purposes, in Narnia at this moment in time as well, really leaving his team light. He does have the C4 below, which could be big, but there's a question as to whether it is even going to come to that, especially with the time that is remaining and the pressure that is almost certainly going to start to mount. Highs gets an important kill over onto Levy. Shuts down the Zephyr. Miracle still playing in drinks. Upside down repel will be shut down as Highs takes him on out. He will be able to dodge the nade here and can go for the peak. Plays it beautifully. Can he land his shots? The answer's no. KDS, he's able to hit his. Outplays Neskin on the drive by Miracle. The last remaining hope. He's got a few seconds more to hold on for. Lagonis, he has the diffuser and he's going to try and push on through. Miracle's already found one. The Banshee gives the game away. Miracle finds it. Can he keep alive? No. KDS, 2 huge kills inside of the round is going to be enough to level things up here for Team 1.
Team 1
wants to win the round for whichever team. You just think Highs, he played that so well. He was able to dodge out onto the nade, and KDS had no idea where he was behind that blue bar. And Highs pops up and he just misses his shots. It's a really unfortunate thing, but that would have relieved so much of the pressure that was otherwise on upstairs onto Miracle when he was trying to clutch out there in that 1 versus 3. Miracle did a great job of bringing it back to the 1v1, but a really difficult round there, and both teams fighting tooth and nail for it. An equal split, 3-3. We enter this next phase on a level pegging. FURIA going to be on the attack this time. Going for a slightly different lineup. Going for a bit of a different approach. Instead of the Maverick, they're opting for the Hibana. And they're going to be bringing the Flores as well.
Yeah, Flores, very interesting operator. It is, I believe, an operator that whenever I think Team 1 played against BDS, it's actually one that they banned out against BDS. So it's certainly an operator that are kind of on the radars of Team 1. So they're not afraid to kind of ban it out and say, yes, it will cause issues, but this time around they have opted to leave it in. Could be a big game changer. Obviously a lot of utility being brought by Team 1. Have the deployable shields there. Also, with Mute being banned out, it makes a lot of sense to bring the Flores. That's one less hard counter for that operator. Alamau on the Valkyrie, that's going to be scary. If he can get some nice Valkyrie cameras for himself, we could see some pretty dangerous runouts, definitely. Levy just gets caught by surprise. I think he went hunting for the Flores drone, and will be eliminated by Highs on the repel.
Early advantage here then for FURIA. Drone work is going on here inside of Hookah. High's going to be holding on to the window as Rare causes a bit of a distraction, and well, Fantasy, he's there to take advantage. He shuts Neskin down. A C4 is going to fly on through, but it won't deal any damage. KDS is now going to be without one for the duration. Alamau getting tempted to rip his as well, as you just hear it off in the distance, but for the time being thinks better of it. Upstairs control now gained, and the vertical can start to be worked on. Rare, he's able to take down KDS as he catches him out there outside of Sauna. Alamau and Lagonis now left in the 2 versus 5. And there is so much time for FURIA to work with here. Fantasy, he's next up. He's looking to push on through. He can move his way all the way into Blue Bar pretty much for free, provided that Lagonis isn't there to deter. And, well, those Toxic Babe canisters will start to go off. Alamau is forced out of position, and now with his location being known, the nades can start to fly on it in. The site being such a pressurizing place to be means that Lagonis and Alamau are forced on out, and they can no longer stay in there for free. There is just too much going on, too many angles being held. And, well, this is looking like it could be a flawless Lagonis. He's got so much work to do. Gets caught out in the crossfire. FURIA, they have got up to top speed there in that round.
Yeah, FURIA. Again, both teams sticks it into 6th gear and away they go.
FURIA looked unstoppable there in that round. Everything that they were doing was so well considered. They had the time and space getting those opening picks. But from there on in, Team One, they just didn't look like they had anywhere to comfortably be. They were in a big man disadvantage, which is never ideal. But still, FURIA just looked like they were playing with the food and almost deciding when they wanted the round to end based on them being in the right position at the right time. Team One are certainly going to have to come up with something pretty spectacular here. They're only trailing by 1 round, but that was the first round of attack for FURIA, and the way that they came out there, they just showed us that little bit of a killer instinct that was maybe occasionally lacking on the side of Team One. Is this the round of rotation holes demo? Tachanka's been fairly busy.
Yeah, Tachanka, great at site setup. The destructibility you get is great, but anything other than that, not the best. The gun is just not good at all for winning engagements. We very rarely see any value from the Molotovs. So yeah, it's definitely not the easiest pick to play, but who knows if Lagonas know something we don't and maybe pull off something pretty clean. He's going to need to. They've lost their smoke. Levy has been eliminated. The first pick goes in favor of FURIA. And the fact that there's a smoke on a hookah defense, huge.
Lagonas just looks like he's going out after trouble there. He's sort of this way and that way. There's the big magazine. And he's just desperate to be thrown into an engagement. But FURIA, in their typical fashion, they do like to make sure that they tick off every job on the checklist. And well, one of those jobs was going to be getting rid of that deployable shield, which was done relatively easily. Alamau just got caught lacking there. I'm not sure if he was in a camera or not, but he wasn't able to shoot the Rotero drone before it was detonated. As such, the shield has fallen. It hasn't immediately led to a push in or any pressure inside of Hookah, but it's always step number 1 in a much larger process.
Lagonas is ready with Molotovs and will fire them out. Tries to delay Miracle just a little bit, hides that double window, a great position to play in. Essentially stops anyone going for a swing, and oh, the Molotovs doesn't connect Ollie. Molotovs just are not good in that scenario. The fire will not reach as big as what a Toxic Babe would. And wow, somehow Lagonas wins that engagement against Heist, but it's all for naught though. He gets traded out, and this is where FURIA can completely back off from the objective and just sit on the Aqua Repel and just really wait for Team One to sweat it out. Alamau tries to rotate over. Neskin, that's a great kill though onto Twitch, but neither of them are in good positions. I say that Neskin finds another rare, has slipped in to Hookah, and now he can deny that cool vibe rotate, which is exactly where both of them are going in, and Ollie, I don't think they have enough time. Rare should pick up an easy 2-piece, and he will do that. The rotations, the positioning. Team One tried their best to try and salvage that one, Ollie. But the man advantage, the plant location was just too good for you.
One that nearly slipped away from them, and it was fortunate that they were able to get the plant down where they did, to mean that the players downstairs had to rotate. They had to go chasing those kills, and it's again the benefit of really splitting up and scattering once that plant has gone down. As long as you're in a position to watch the plant, you are still doing a job, and Neskin getting taken out there on the rappel was... sorry, Neskin grabbing that kill out on the rappel onto, I believe it was Highs, I think it might have been outside on the rappel on Aqua. You know, it was a great job, but it didn't really matter. It took up too much time in the whole process of things. As such, FURIA now lead by 2 rounds, 1 round away from a match point, and well, with the way that they've been attacking so far, Demo, they've looked terrifying.
They have done, and they have a bit of momentum behind them. Both these teams have played fairly a good coastline as of late. You know, historic map for both of them in terms of what they did at the major and just how much they proved to everyone just how good both sides are and to be considered real threats in international competitions. But right now, FURIA on attacks just seem to be putting into high gear. Speaking of Highs is looking to push in towards that Sunrise and establish a firm control, and that's kind of where they'll stem their beachhead from. It cuts off any rotation in towards Cool Vibes. I think FURIA are just trying to go around and eliminate as much utility as they can. Also looking to go above, just scattered all over the place. FURIA more than likely will try and commit to one kitchen take, I imagine. Whenever they have so much utility in their back pocket, they have nades, they have Sophia, they have the Flores drones. Any shields that may be placed, anyone who wants to play on close reinforcements, the Flores drones as stuns, they will eliminate that with ease.
KDS holding on to a very narrow vertical angle there. Highs is going to make his way in through Hookah. Levy's been chunked down and retreated back onto the site. There's a lot of work that needs to be done here by FURIA, and about the halfway point in the round, they should be in position enough to at least start checking a few of these things off the list, and it's going to kick off there with a kill onto Highs. Sorry, a kill from Highs onto KDS as he takes him down with a nade, really getting the most out of those grenades and making them land, taking full advantage of that Jaeger ban and the reluctance to play Wamai on the side of Team 1. Fancy at the bottom of security is able to look into service as well. Really cut off those two sites. High is desperate to get involved upstairs, but Neskin is going to stand in his way here, but he needs to get in there to be able to start opening up that vertical and working the hammer.
There will be roamers above, and the roamers are starting to work, and Eyes goes down. The sledge is out of commission, so no vertical game will be applied by FURIA in this round. Another trade comes out, and Lend is just slipped right in for the rotation, all being assisted by Diana. Ligones has somehow stripped away in towards her section, but he himself gets eliminated, and now all pressure is going to be on Neskin. He was a savior for them against Cyclops at the Mexico Major. Can he be a savior for them on Coastline? He sees a diffuse carrier. Sprays a few bullets, but Rare is covering with the flashbangs. Diffuser will go down successfully. Neskin not in a position to stop it. Now 1 versus 2. Oh, what a shot! Rare is gone. This'll be for the ace, but no Lenda ruins the fun. So close for Neskin, but not close enough.
That one really hurts to watch if you're a Team 1 fan. 1 kill away.
Okay. Moving in to potentially the final round of Coastline. Did you expect this game to be this, like, close but then one-sided? Because I didn't. I after the first kind of half, I was expecting, again, just a bloodbath. Just bleeding everywhere. Nobody staying in the lead for a long period of time. Just all over the show. But FURIA, all credit to them, have really muscled up during this attacking half.
FURIA are a great side. They've made it out of playoffs in the last 2 big events that they've been to, and they've done that for a reason. They've proved themselves internationally, and they can do it inside of the home region as well. Like, honestly, with the way that we saw Team 1 playing yesterday, I was quietly confident for FURIA in terms of how they would come out and perform. Yeah, it's because I'm a little bit biased. It's because they're my team, but still, it's one of those things where you just think, you know, you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt here, and Team 1 didn't play great yesterday.
Team 1 have the easy of games against W7M. Still pulled off the victory for themselves, but probably would have thought that it would have been an easy 3 points, but was not the case. Neskin opens up onto Fantasy. That's a lot better from Team 1. They have an opening kill, and usually with how this game has went so far, it has been FURIA in the driving seat for a lot of these rounds in their attacks, but for the first time, a little bit stunned. They're not entirely sure what they do now without Fantasy, who's had a great game. The top kill lead for FURIA. He's off the table. Now the other 4 have to try and pick up the pieces. Rare will start things off with a kill onto KDS. Goes back. All square. 4-4.
Shuts down one of the C4s as well from the side of Team 1 as something else that they're not going to be able to roll with. Miracle takes down Alamau, and it seems as though the chips are starting to fall here. FURIA commanding advantage. The work will start to be going in onto that wall as Ligonis desperately trying to battle back along with Neskin, but Ligonis goes for the peek first. Neskin wasn't in position, and Highs is gifted a double. They're peeking one at a time. It's easy pickings. Levy How many times are we seeing him be the clutch master today? Is he going to be able to do it this time? The answer is no. Lender, he grabs that final kill, and FURIA, well, they make light work of Team 1 here on Coastline.
Wow, what an attacking performance from FURIA. What a way to start things off on their campaign this split. Beating one of their big rivals, if not, I would say Team 1 and FURIA is a massive rivalry. Obviously, we still have another big rivalry coming tonight, but I would say FURIA and Team 1 is as close as it gets to two teams with similar backstories, similar playstyles, and similar players. I'm telling you, Ollie, what a game to kick things off for FURIA. Really, really impressive stuff for them.
Yeah, FURIA have come out with one thing on their mind, I think, and that was to come away with the win today. It really was. It was a bloodbath. You know, a 7-3, especially when you start off on the defense on Coast, is very impressive indeed. And it